When people ask you, how are you? How are you doing? How are things? Do you find it difficult to balance telling the absolute truth and not burdening someone with details of your life that you couldn't possibly disclose everything with? I find small talk to be brutal. And I don't try to trick myself into thinking that I'm great in social situations, not having deep talks or not discussing things that don't have weight or just shooting the shit. And as a man, I feel like by not having this as a skill, that I'm fundamentally lacking something. Socially, at the worst, anxious or just not interested. And when I'm not interested, it makes me not very interesting. The best way to be boring in life is to be bored. And in this season, with these eclipses, I'm really struggling with boredom, finding meaning in what I'm doing. And I keep setting for myself rather ambitious goals, and I achieve them. And then there's an emptiness on the other side. I don't know what to do with it, what to make of it. But fundamentally, I know right now it's important for me to just rest in that state of unknown, to just be in this place without worry for the future, without anxiety to create something or become something or change something or set out for a massive undertaking or even a minor undertaking. If someone were to ask me, how are you? It would be hard to answer. It would be hard to say anything other than, I don't know. Every day is different, and I have moments of deep joy and gratitude, and I have moments of anxiety and worry and stress. As a man, as a husband, and as a father, it's sort of a responsibility of mine to be the one that holds space for everyone else. And I'm fine in doing that. So long as I don't put pressure on myself and I don't pretend that there's pressure coming in to change who I am. And it's taken a while for me to get to this point. It's taken a lot of trust between Carly and I, and me showing up honestly, and then her seeing how I work, how I think and feel and respond to stress in life. And I'm grateful for that, for sure. Grateful. Just in a weird place right now. My work is rather easy, which hasn't always been the case, and that causes some trouble because it's almost a temptation then to create difficulty in that space or to be tempted to make things more difficult than they are. As human beings, we are entering a new paradigm where we don't have to work. And what does it mean to be human when we don't have to work? The anxiety I feel right now is directly tied to my observations that this is coming. Universal basic income will be implemented on some degree. Everyone will have a level of abundance that they haven't had before, but there will be the largest gap ever between the haves and the have-nots. I'm having to ask myself this question: am I okay with just abundance? It's so gray, you know? I think having financial pressure for so much of my life, it's hard to let go of it. It's an addiction. So what do you do with the energy? Funnel it into creativity. It's my first thought. Become creative. My second thought, pursue movement. Movement that is something you did as a child, but maybe you didn't master. Maybe you let it go, dropped it. So for me, that's swimming. Something difficult. Something where the stakes are very high. And then beyond that, I think just moving slowly into this desire for human connection. I think it's pretty clear that we're more isolated than we've ever been as a species. Different pockets of people are experiencing that at different times. I think for most of the West, we are extremely isolated, and then we're going online and receiving a lot of information, a lot of pseudo stimulation, going back out to the world, and it just feels empty. If you legitimately go out into the world without a phone, a source of breaking news or digital information, there's a lot of stillness and silence and peace in nature. And if you're not ready to navigate that or participate in it, then it can feel overwhelming because it's so open. So just recognize the states that we're in, and that's what I'm trying to do, is recognize what states am I getting myself in. So redefining what work looks like, because for me, work occurs in an office, in front of a computer screen, something like that. And even when I do my filming, I'm in my office sitting in front of a screen. I did that initially I copied a style of sitting in front of a laptop and then showing what's on my screen. And then even after I didn't have anything to show, I kept doing it. You see how these habits become rote and we don't have to think about them, we just do them. And then as I was thinking about, I've taken a break from short form content, and as I'm thinking about getting back into short form content, I think I would like to do this differently. I think I would like to tell stories cinematically, showing rather than telling. And moving into doing that, now I have an opportunity to create outside of the office. I want to tell a story around movement and around what it means to be a human in this world, a creator, a participant in what nature has to offer, into what my body can do, and expressing that and experiencing it. It just dawned on me like this: oh, my work hours don't have to box me in. I can go out to the park and film some movement practice, whether it's sprinting. I could go to the beach, film myself doing a swimming workout or going on a stand-up paddleboard. Contemplation in that time, sharing that contemplation, maybe just showing how I'm moving through things, how I'm moving forward. And then, oh, that's great. Now my work is inspiring, and I don't put it on my time spent with family and with my kids to get that done. And that's one of the excuses I've been pulling up subconsciously as to why I haven't been doing it. Because I have my kids, and one of them's sick, or one of them's throwing a fit, or not all of them can swim on their own, so I have to stay with them. I mean, they're all legitimate reasons, right? Our excuses. But if I can go out by myself, then none of that holds me down. And ultimately, I don't want resentment to come into any aspect of my life. Ultimately, I'm in control of whatever it is that I'm resenting. So that's a great, easy shift I can make today, and I choose to do so. And of course, when you set out to do something, the excuses come up for ways to avoid what's difficult. So for me, it's like, okay, I have a camera. I got a tripod. I don't have a GoPro. I don't have any way to film myself in the water. The local pool doesn't allow filming there. So if I'm doing anything in the water, I have to be at the beach. And the closest beach to us is a nude beach. I don't want to be filming there for obvious reasons. So immediately, it's funny how we jump into limitations. I start thinking about equipment I need to buy, these things I don't have, limitations. AKA, this voice is telling me, you can't do it. It's not possible. Despite what obstacles may appear, let me find a way through them. And in some ways, the obstacles show up so that you can creatively make something happen despite the obstacle. And in spite of those obstacles, that story that you tell, in spite of the obstacles, becomes a defining characteristic of who you are and how you create. And I'm using this as a reminder. So, let's begin.
It wasn't like I teleported. Here. Down. And something big.
What do I do with my hands?